Acho. You blame Russell Wilson for being frustrated with the Seahawks?
So we're going to have fun today, man. Outside of the crick in your neck, the jokes are about to be had.
The crick in my neck?
Yeah, Russell Wilson, he should be frustrated. I don't blame him at all. He should be livid. Really? In fact, if I'm Russell Wilson, I'm realizing now, wait a second, you can buy a Super Bowl. Everybody told me my whole career that you can't buy a Super Bowl. You have to build and draft, and it takes years to develop. But you Russell Wilson, and you looking over there south a little bit, and you're in Tampa, and you're saying, wait a second. They acquire Gronkowski in the offseason, acquire AB midseason, acquire Fournette in the preseason, acquire Tom Brady in the offseason, and they just won a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks are the winningest organization in the NFC since Russell Wilson got drafted. Yet he only got one Super Bowl win to show for it. The same amount of Super Bowl wins Tom Brady has in Tampa. Marcellus, you love track, and it's early in the show for us to go there, but we're going to go there. If Russell Wilson and his team, the Seattle Seahawks, are miles, at least a half a lap ahead of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because the Seahawks are the winningest organization in the NFC since they got there, and the Tampa Bay Bucs are amongst the losing organizations in the NFC over the last 10 years. How in the world, in 1 year, does Tampa go from worst to first? And I'm not talking about in the division. I'm talking about in the entire NFL. I'm talking about in the NFC as you look at the body of work. So if I'm Russ, I'm heated. I'm heated because I'm looking at another team go purchase a Super Bowl. But number two, I'm heated because, wait a second, I was working out with AB all off season. I was putting my reputation out on the line was Antonio Brown was the dregs of society. I was working out with that cat when nobody was even checking for him. I wanted to sign him. And now the Buccaneers go sign him. Who catches a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl? Antonio Brown. Like Marcellus, Jesus and Russell Wilson, the two men perceived to have lived this life without sin. Those two men. And Russell Wilson put his whole reputation on the line for AB, and he don't get none of the benefits of it. So if I'm Russell Wilson, I'm not just upset. I'm livid because I understand I'm doing everything I can, and I'm not winning Super Bowls, plural. But Tom Brady just hopped over to Tampa real quick, and he already got one in the NFC. Nah, make that make sense.
You know what? I am going to make it make sense. Flip the coin over, brother, because it's another way to look at the same situation. I'm blaming Russell Wilson. I'm blaming Russell Wilson for all the success that they had up there, and I'm also going to blame him for the issues that they have up there. You are not absolved of guilt or blame when it comes to us looking at this properly. Look at Russell Wilson. Now he on Zoom now, telling all his problems to the world like we could fix them. Like, dog, none of us out here going to block for you. None of us out here going to catch these touchdowns for you. None of us have anything to do with that. But you want to win the narrative right now. It's interesting. It's only been one time in his illustrious career when Jesus actually didn't walk on water. There was one time I was looking at him, and he's trying to win the perception game instead of the reality game. It was one time. Right before that contract. You remember right before that contract? All that New York talk. Oh, him and his wife, they need to go to a bigger market. Whatever that was the only time I saw some dust being kicked up by Russell Wilson. And here we are again, kicking up dust. You know why he's kicking up dust?
Why?
Because he wants something. He wants to be protected. He wants a better team. He wants all of that. But guess what, big dog? You have more to contribute to that being fixed than talking about it and thinking we're going to help you. Let me talk about bad Russell Wilson. Because every time we hear him talk, we're like, he's such a likable guy. Every time we see him play, we say, man, he's drawing up in the dirt and making something out of nothing. But let's also talk about the same guy who has lost 4 of his last playoff games. Ooh, are there trade rumors because Russell can't get it done when it matters most? Don't forget his beginnings, being carried by a running game, being carried by a defense. Let Russ cook. Okay, we let him cook. Last 4 of our 5 playoff games, L's. What about him in the playoffs in general? He's 3-5, averaging 245 yards per game and just 61% of his passes. Is that MVP level? Hell no. What about this year? Starting off on an MVP pace. How did that finish off? Didn't finish off just like it started. I'm looking at Russell Wilson as simply a guy who can't look at it all in perspective and take responsibility from beginning to end. He wants to piece together what sounds good to us. He wants to piece together what sounds good to the organization. But the organization is not stupid. They're looking at everything that is going wrong with their team. And as crazy as it sounds, Russell Wilson, you're part of the problem as well.
I think that is ludicrous, Sal.
Oh, okay.
Because
I'll go ludicrous.
I'm with you when you say Russ is looking at everything around the organization, and he's also looking at the organizations that have won. And he's looking at Tampa saying, what did Tampa need most? A winning franchise caliber quarterback.
Okay.
They got that.
Uh-huh.
What do we have in Seattle? Who am I? It's Russell Wilson, a winning franchise caliber quarterback. We got that. But what did Tom Brady get? Help. He got help. He got a
He was the help. He was the help.
He was part of the help.
The part.
Right.
He was
all
of
even
it.
in the Super Bowl game itself,
Come
Tom
on, man.
Brady was the third, fourth, or fifth most important player. Nick Wright said he was the ninth. I disagree with that. He said that prior to the show.
Oh,
but I
okay.
would say
You
that
ranking
Tom
that?
Brady was around the fourth most important player after the likes of Devin White, after the likes of Vita Vea. But Tom Brady got help. Russell Wilson is like, hey, now, you giving other people pieces and winning chips. I have put us in position every year to win a chip with what to show for it, Sal. Like, I fully understand Russ's frustration because Russ is so intelligent. He's looking at it like this. Russ knows, he's self-aware. When you think of Russell Wilson, what do you think of? Super Bowl, but he got carried to it. Married to Sierra. And that's straight up.
That's the order?
That's the order.
Good Lord.
He got carried to it.
Tell him on yourself.
Married to Sierra. And then you think about the interception he threw in the Super Bowl. In any one of those orders, that's the order in which I think about it. Russell Wilson knows, like, yo, I need a couple more grandiose accolades. I need a couple more huge monuments that are sitting in the back of my screen when I'm on my Zoom calls. When you go to Tom Brady's Zoom call, you see MVP awards. What you see, Russell Wilson? Walter Payton Man of the Year? Like, that's good. You're a good person, but I'm a good person. That don't mean nothing when it comes to the NFL.
Chill.
Like, I'm glad you're a good person, but the fans ain't worried about that right now. So I don't blame Russ, man. I get it. I get Russ. Russ is being wise right now.
Nah, and you know what? I got to toot my own horn. I won Walter Payton Man of the Year 3 times for 3 different teams. But back in our days, they didn't.
It was not a national?
They didn't have the national one. I might have won one. I won 3 different individual times, but I digress. Oh, no help in Seattle, you say.
Not enough.
No help in Seattle,
Not
you
enough.
say. Oh, not enough?
Not enough.
Okay, so when you got Damian Lewis, who started all 16 games as a rookie in the 3rd round, that wasn't help this year. Okay, let's go back to DK Metcalf. That's not helping you. Oh, what about Shaquille Griffin, the Pro Bowler? That didn't help you. Chris Carson, that didn't help you. 27 touchdowns over the last 3 seasons. What about Tyler Lockett, a Pro Bowler? Oh, that didn't help you. What about Metcalf and Lockett, who rank in the top 10 in receiving touchdowns? That didn't help you. Oh, what about the fact that you have the 2nd highest average time in the pocket this season, only to Lamar Jackson? And it's in part because you like to run around, but this is in part because they do protect you somewhat, just a itty-bitty. But if you stayed on script, you stayed on timing, guess what? Things would turn out better. I always tell you this. What's the best offensive lineman? A decisive quarterback,
That's very
right?
true.
Oh, I'm going to say that line about 3 times this show because we're going to talk about other quarterbacks that are complaining. But Russell Wilson, you got some help there. What about Jamal Adams in trade? Is that help? Carlos Dunlap, midseason trade, 5 sacks in 8 games. That help? Quandre Diggs, 8 interceptions in 21 games. Does that help? What about Dwayne Brown, midseason trade, Pro Bowler? Does that help? Russell Wilson, stop playing. But last time I saw Russell Wilson, it wasn't with Sierra. Last time I saw him actually was with Commissioner Goodell up in that
With
booth.
Sierra. She was right next to him.
She was right next to him? I was looking at the commissioner and Russell. I don't know. I ain't looking at another man's wife like you are. But here's the thing. What I did see when he was on the field, 40.7 completion percentage, 72 passer rating, sacked 5 times. Part of it's your fault because you don't know when to get the ball out. In the wild card game against the Rams, is that Russell Wilson who thinks others are the problem? What about a passer rating below 100 in each of the last 4 games of the season? Is that Russell Wilson saying others are the problem? What about the first 8 games when you were going to win the MVP, but what had happened was, again, you fall off in the second half and your quarterback rating drops to 89. It's other people's problems. See, this is the problem when you, what do you say? When you point the finger.
Oh, you got 3 of them joints.
3 of them joints.
You got 1 crooked one, though, so it ain't all pointing back at you.
10 years D-line, homie. 10 years D-line. But the point is, Russell Wilson, what happened to the old mindset? And I know I'm old school, I'm conservative. Do your job. And do your job so well that no one could ever look at you as part of the problem. But Russell wants to go with the new school mindset of, I do my job well enough, but you know what? I should go upstairs and lend a helping hand. Maybe they need some help. Well, upstairs is pointing back at you and telling you go back down and do your job better. He's not doing his job well enough.
But, Sal, we can establish Russell Wilson as a top 5 quarterback.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you. Like, okay, now
and a top 5 complainer right now. The hell wrong
now
with
that
you?
we've established he's a top 5 quarterback, he's not the limiting reactant to their success.
I love when you say that.
Even when you think about the Super Bowl this year, yes, Russell has DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Chris Carson when he's healthy because he was hurt during the course of the season. But think about Tampa Bay and them Bucks. AB, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, plus Leonard Fournette, plus Ronald Jones. Okay, who else was in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs? Mecole Hardman, Travis Kelce, plus Cheetah, plus Le'Veon Bell. Like, you got talent with Russell Wilson. Then you got talent galore with these other teams. So, Russ don't want to go down like Aaron Rodgers done gone down, big dog.
What's that?
Aaron Rodgers hasn't really publicly complained preemptively. He complains retroactively.
I like that.
Man, y'all drafted Jordan Love. Now I'm finna go drink.
I got to get
Man, yeah, right? Like, now I got to go do something. But Russell Wilson is like, wait a second. No. Y'all not finna play me with only one Super Bowl when it's all said and done. Aaron Rodgers, 13 years as a starter, one Super Bowl, disappointment. Woo. Russell Wilson like, y'all not gonna do me like that. I'm going to proactively let it be known what we need, what I want, what it's going to take to win a chip, because I'm not the problem. Y'all figure out what the problem is, but it can't be Russell Wilson.
It can't be Russell Wilson?
Can't be.
When you're on the most talented team, at least by the Pro Bowl selections, guess who had the most Pro Bowl selections this year? Tied with another team. Guess who? I wonder who. Is it Seattle?
How many? How many?
Seven dudes. Hey, I've been on a lot of teams where they ain't had 7, and we were kind of good. Imagine, and we used to sit there. We had more guys like Russell Wilson did. We will be something. Russell Wilson's the type of dude that walks into traffic, gets hit, and be like, why you hit me? Dog, you walked into traffic. Like, you sacking me again, Aaron Donald? Yeah, dog, you hold on to the ball for like 9 seconds. It's going to be helpful for me to come get you. And I love your example, your counterpoint of, well, look at what happened with Tom Brady. I want people to really look at what happened with Tom Brady. Tom Brady for 20 years had no personnel input to the tune of he one time took a pay cut and directed the pay cut exactly at one player in Wes Welker. He said, I'm going to take a haircut. Now, all that extra hair, that's for Wes Welker. Please re-sign him. Did they re-sign him? No. On top of that, they still were going to the Super Bowl and still winning. And Tom Brady directly asked for something he didn't get. That's 20 years of greatness, the GOAT, who didn't get what he wanted. But then everyone's going to say, but look what happened in Tampa. Look what happened in Tampa. Oh, how hard is this conversation, Acho? Hey, Bruce, what's up, Tom? Yeah, man, I know I don't have input on personnel, but I don't know. I know 2 future Hall of Famers that just want to come kick it with me if you allow that. You know, Rob Gronkowski and Antonio Brown. That ain't no personnel input. That's a duh situation. And Bruce Arians like, yeah, I know what I said before, but duh, bring them in. And those were the contributing factors to their Super Bowl.
Let's talk about this. That's my final point. We have to talk about addition. We have to talk about subtraction.
Okay.
Because by the Seahawks not getting AB, and let's not make light, Marcellus, of everybody thinks about this Antonio Brown. The current Antonio Brown ain't been in trouble publicly in about 6 to 7 months, so ain't nobody really tripping. Russ was working out with AB when AB was like untouchable. Like AB was 2 months removed.
Oh, you helped build him up.
No.
What you saying?
But Russell Wilson jeopardized his perfect image. Oh, my God, Russell Wilson. Because just to hang out with AB is to now catch some slander. Like, it's some dudes right now just to be associated with AB is to catch slander. So Russell Wilson put himself out there in hopes that Pete Carroll and John Snyder, you would do what Bruce Arians went and did. Not only did y'all not get AB, then the Bucs went and got AB and got better. Imagine how much better maybe the Seahawks would have been if you would have honored. Russell Wilson did the legwork. He said, hey, I'll take the reputational hit. Pete Carroll's not even on you. Snyder's not on you. I'll take the rep hit. I can own that. My shoulder's broad enough to carry this weight. And they didn't even honor and acknowledge that.
Honor what? Why? They had 2 receivers that over 1,000 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns this season. Hey,
you knew that.
I respect that, but you acting like Tom Brady went out there and did something that you couldn't do. Because guess what you did? You took the most talented team by Pro Bowl selections nowhere. So why give you more talent if you can't even work with the talent you have? No one had more talent on their roster in terms of having a great season. They had 7.
But you don't mean that.
What I don't mean that.
You know more teams had more talented rosters than the Seahawks.
I know they had.
You told me this before.
No, first of all, I don't know what I told you before. That was before the neck injury or after the neck injury because I'm a different dude right now. I'm going to say this, though. Russell Wilson, here's a word to the wise. Improve the game. Here's a word to the wise. Stop continuously extending plays and listen to all the praise you get when you're off script, when you're not on time. Hey, Russ, stop trying to always cook and stop making up hashtags or supporting hashtags. Stop focusing on the MVP vote that you're never going to get as long as you keep focusing on the MVP vote. How about you do this? Stop being enamored with your deep ball because it's the best deep ball in the game. But guess what? Take what the defense gives you. And more importantly, take this advice that I'm giving you.